Hi there, welcome. My name's Karen Luniw. I am the author of Attraction in Action and the creator of the Law of Attraction and Business Attraction Tips podcast, which have been downloaded over 12 million times by people all over the world, just like you. Now, if you are a leading edge go-getter in business, management, sales, and in life, you are absolutely in the right place. You are also in the right place if you want to learn more about how to use all the resources available to you out there so you can get to your goal and achieve it smarter and faster. Now, you might be kind of wondering, okay, she just said that her podcast has been downloaded over 12 million times, but this is episode 1. So what's going on with that? And you're absolutely right. That's, good question. I actually did this first podcast way back in 2006, and it was an audio podcast. And now, it's now 2011 when I'm doing this video. And now, that's been a long time since I did the first podcast. And even though I'd been studying the law of attraction for years, long before that, what I've learned in the last 5 years has been amazing. And so what it was really important to me was to be able to connect with you and share with you all the latest things that I could to make this whole process of getting to where you wanted to go faster and easier. So that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons that I wanted to do this. The other reason I really wanted to do this podcast was because it was also really important to me to be able to connect with you. And so you could actually see me and see my enthusiasm for this subject. And instead of just listening to my voice, it's funny because when I listened to those first podcasts, even though they've been wildly popular, this is just going to be way better. So again, I really just wanted to be here and connect with you as if we were just, standing around and having a coffee or having a bevy and just chit-chatting. Although probably I wouldn't be having a little bored if we were just chit-chatting, but stranger things have happened. So where we are right now is we're at my home studio, and what I'm going to do is spend the next little bit and over the next few videos just sharing some great information that's just going to be able to help you catapult. Now, I know from my initial videos, I've gotten emails from people all over the world who have just found this information really, really helpful, and just from listening to these podcasts have been able to take their life to a whole new level. So please stick with me because I know this can help. I just know that this can help. All right. Also, the other thing that you need to know about me is I love to help people shift, shine, and grow. So let's get started. So you know in your heart of hearts that even though your life might be absolutely wonderful, you know it could be even better. Now, there's also some of you your life might not be that great, and there's some major things that you want to change and a major overhaul, but you know that it's available there. You know it's there for you. You also know that you have it in you to achieve your goals. But you also know that it could be easier and faster, and you also know that can be done smarter, right? Does that sound about right? There is a dream life that you've been moving towards, and I wanted to connect in with that for a moment. And this is something I do with all my coaching clients. So it's very, very powerful. So please take a moment to do this with me, okay? Now, whether you have been looking for, or one of the things that you want to achieve is a better relationship, or to have a relationship, find love, have more friends, make more money, do better in your business, have a more profitable business, have more better customers, have a great job or get a great job, a great promotion, or just have better health, just feel better about yourself, or correct some things in your life. What I would like you to do is just pick one of those things right now, and I'd like you to connect in with what it would feel like to have achieved this thing. What difference would it make to you in your life? How would it feel? So take a moment, and I want you to, again, whether it's, again, relationships, money, work, health, take a moment, or something else, doing something really incredible out there. I want you to just take a moment and connect in with what that would feel like. Okay? So please do this with me right now. What would it feel like? Who's there with you? What are they saying? What are you saying? What are the smells? What does it feel like? Or what's the temperature? How does it feel to be in your body at that moment when you've achieved your dream? Just really connect in with that feeling for a moment. Okay? So remember that, because we're going to come back to that, okay? This is so powerful. What you just did is so amazingly powerful. I can't even explain it to you how powerful it really, really is. But just, again, connect in with that feeling. Here's the thing, is that every time you do that, you are actually drawing, you're actually attracting the very thing that you want. So the more you can feel it, the more you can really feel it. And I'm trying not to hit my my microphone here. But the more you can feel that, the better. Okay? So we'll come back to that. Now, the other thing that often goes on for people is that they see others who seem to be way ahead, getting the things that they want in their life, but forgive me, but they don't seem any smarter, right? And in fact, some of these people aren't very nice people either. So what's going on here, right? What is going on? So we know, just by looking at that there is something else at play here. Because if it was up to being a good person, doing all the right things, and having a good head on our shoulders, we'd all be rich, or a lot of us would be rich, or richer than we are, right? So there's something else at play here, and there absolutely is, and that's where the law of attraction comes in. Okay. Now, whether you've seen The Secret or have been studying or following the law of attraction for some time, I know I've been doing that for probably over 14, 15 years now, or whether you are absolutely brand new to this, there's something that really tugs at you where you know that this is the truth, that the law of attraction or something about it is absolutely true. And so I felt the same way. I absolutely felt the same way. But the promise seems to be, well, if I just think positive things will happen, right? Well, that's part of it. And so that's only part of it. Yeah, you want to be positive, but and positive things will come to you. But there really is more to it, and that's what I'm going to share with you over these next set of videos. So here comes the problems. The problems are that a lot of people run up against when they start dealing with the law of attraction or start asking or investigating or wanting to know more about it, is that it seems too good to be true, right? And we've all heard, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. That's what I heard you saying, right? It probably is. I mean, we work really hard at being positive, and some things just don't happen, right? So that's problem number one. Problem number two is that there's some people out there who are pretty skeptical and pretty vocal and pretty critical of this, and we kind of sit back and kind of go, well, what if they're right? I don't want to look like a fool. I mean, this is kind of woo-woo stuff, right? And it's not, but because there really is a science behind it, the way our brain works around this as well. But there's always that thing about, what if they're right? What if they're right? The other thing is that comes up for a lot of people is that, they've studied it, they've tried it, and then they get to the point where they kind of think, well, maybe it just doesn't work for me. Oh, and I tell you, that just makes me so sad. Because it really is just a few corrections that need to be made for most people, and they start getting results right away. And I have seen this over and over and over again when I work with people, is that sometimes it's just a small correction, just a small correction in what goes on between their ears, and everything changes. That's what we want. That's what we're looking for. So these are some of the main concerns that pop up for people on a regular basis that prevents them from really diving in And so I'm going to address some of these concerns in this video and again in the future ones. And I know you'll love it. So I also have a whole bunch of other videos on my site that are available to you, and they're free of charge. So please go to my site. It's at attractmorenow.com, and they're just waiting for you. So please go get them, okay? Because I know you'll love them. I know you will love them. So you know what? Again, I totally get this. I know where you're coming from with all these problems. Again, whether it's just, it's too good to be true, people are skeptical, or maybe it doesn't work for me. I totally get it because I've been there, done that. So, I mean, how can we get really great at getting some things in our life and not at others? So that's exactly how I started down this path. Here's a quick story about how this all really started out for me. Way back, I married my high school sweetheart. And even though we loved each other so much, it didn't work out. And even though I wouldn't have described it like this at that time, we really just were not a good match for each other. We were not well suited. We had some things in common, but as we grew up, like a lot of people, we didn't have much in common as time grew on. And so when we split up, the big thing for me at that point was, how is it that love could not fix this? I thought love fixed everything. But in this case, it couldn't fix the fact that we were not a match. Now, several years later after that, I met my husband, Jeff, my new husband, my sweetheart and love of my life, Jeff. And so what I found was that, okay, I'm really good at getting some things in my life, but not so much at others. So, I was really great at, having great friends, having lots of love in my life, finding, my sweetheart. But in terms of money and getting great jobs, I always could get a job, but not great jobs necessarily, not the jobs that were best suited to me. I started to wonder, well, what was this all about? And then I came across Brian Tracy, and because I had started to get into business. This was, again, probably over a decade ago. Was really interested in business, really interested in internet marketing at that point. And I got one of his books, and in it he talks about 7 universal laws, and one of them was the law of attraction. Well, I was hooked. That was it. I was hooked. And I thought this was really interesting because I, read lots of metaphysical books at that time, but nowhere did I ever read anything about universal laws up until that point. So I thought it was really interesting that the first time I ever came across this was from a sales guru in a business book. But you know what? I was hooked. And what I started to do is I started to teach this law to people. I mean, I figured it out. This was the key. This was the key to everything. He talked about these other laws, and they're all very important. But to me, the best one that I could explain to people was about the law of attraction. And so I started teaching people about it. And what it led me to is again, understanding how I attracted the love of my life, attracting, a great job, attracting, a wonderful home, all kinds of incredible opportunities, fantastic cars. You'll learn about me. I'm a car buff. I love cars. Just on and on and on. And I don't want to boast about this because this is not what this is about. But really, what I really want to impart to you is that if I can do it, you can do it. Because I really was like and am like everybody else, like the majority of people, where we've learned certain things, we've been socialized to do certain things and understand certain things. And so I just went along with that. And again, once I started to learn about the law of attraction, again, how to shift it, how to shift my mindset, how to use what's in between my ears here more effectively, everything changed. And I want that for you. Absolutely want that for you. Here's the other thing. My clients now have gotten amazing results. So not only just the people that have been listening to my podcasts all over the world, but the clients that I work one-on-one with, amazing results. I've had a client who went from 0, or actually less than 0, to 5-figure months in a very short period of time just by actually using her brilliance. Remember I said about shift, shine, and grow and helping people to shine? Well, we all have a brilliance within us, within our hearts, within who we are. And so being able to bring that out, being able to let your brilliance shine, then you can grow. I've had clients who have shifted their business model, shifted the way they did things, and have catapulted their income, have gotten way better clients for themselves, and now are taking more time off in a really short period of time. And these are people who were, up to this point, up to the time we started working together, real workaholics, okay? So, I mean, worked all the time and could never imagine spending the money, going on trips, and taking the time off nevertheless, especially in a fairly new business. So having that ability to do, again, just shifting some things, using attraction principles has allowed them to do this. Have had clients, get dream jobs, and start to create their dream life. Now, I don't say that lightly. You might hear me over our time together, talk about dream life and the dream opportunities, but it's really true. I've seen people go from just, again, living their life just like we all do, to living their dream life. Now, wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be awesome to do? And it's available to you. From my heart to yours, absolutely, it is available to you. So I wanted to share that with you because I wanted to share with you the results that people really do get by learning about the law of attraction and attraction principles, plus more things I'm going to share with you over the next videos. So now for you, let's go back to that dream, that vision that you had for yourself a little bit ago, whether it was a dream relationship, or having more friends, more money, better business, better job, better health. Whatever that is, again, you can have that too. The question is, how much longer do you want to be putting that off? Or just waiting for it to happen? Because I tell you, unless you start working with these universal laws, it doesn't just happen all the time. Now, what I've learned over the last 14 years or so about the law of attraction has really been seen through a skeptic's eyes. While I'm a big picture thinker, I've also been accused of being a little woo-woo. But ultimately, I'm a really logical thinker. I'm actually a very linear thinker. And so all of this, as I was learning about the law of attraction, and as I learned more and more, I really wanted to learn out about what was behind it. I wanted proof. I mean, I had the proof. I had the anecdotal proof in my life, but also in other people's lives and in my clients' lives. But I really wanted to know, what's the background? What makes this tick? And I'm always looking for it. So what I'm going to be sharing with you over the next little while is not only about the fact that with the law of attraction, like energy attracts like energy. Okay, so, and everything is energy, and I will get into that some more. I will explain about what the law of attraction is. But so like energy attracts like energy. But I'm also going to talk a little bit, and not over the head, so it doesn't make any sense, but really how the quantum physics aspect helps us out. And us also, how our brain works with this. So again, we can actually start to shift the way we do things, so we can understand better about why this works, and that it's not just some woo-woo thing that somebody made up in a new age something or other. I mean, you know what? Get over that. And if you're not over that, that's okay. Just stick with me because I will talk about that. Here's one of the most important things also to me is that, above all, this has got to be practical. If you can't use it in your everyday life, then what is it good for? And when I started when I started learning about this, about law of attraction, there wasn't a lot of everyday practical, how do you use this, how do you say things, how do you think stuff out there. And so really that's what I'm going to share with you again over the next little bit. Now, you know what? I know this video has gone a little bit long, and I know in terms of, if you on your video player or kind of on any of your devices, if you've got this on your phone and you're listening to it, and it's not on your computer, just want to let you know I've got an app for this. There's an app for that. It's a law of attraction tips, and you can get it for Android or iPhone. And what that does, it allows you to stream this so you don't have to save this. Because, again, video takes up a little bit of extra room compared to the audios. So just want to let you know that. But, again, just going back to the practical aspect of this, I want to make sure that you can use this. And so that's what we're going to get into next, okay? All right. Now, getting into the basics of this. And now for some of you who have studied law of attraction for a while, this is going to be old hat for you. But for some of you, this is going to be brand new stuff. For those of you that this is old hat, stick with me, because you know what? I find as I listen to other people talk about this, I always get maybe one other tidbit, or it refreshes me so I can go out and woo-hoo, attract something more and cooler and better for me and the people around me that I love. So here's the two ways I really like to describe the law of attraction. The first one is like energy attracts like energy. Okay, so like energy attracts like energy. So it's different than a magnet. Although often in law of attraction, we'll talk about magnetizing something, and that's just because we're drawing it to us. But again, like energy attracts like energy. Now, there's not one scientist out there who refutes the fact that everything is made up of energy, okay? Everything, whether it is this board, me, this fireplace behind me, the trees, the mountains, the birds, but also our thoughts. Our thoughts and our feelings are also made up of energy. So really a crucial piece of information. Everything is energy, and things that things that are of like energy vibration. Well, oh, no, let me step back from that. So everything is made up of energy, but everything also vibrates. Okay, so when energy is vibrating. The things that attract, and why like energy attracts like energy, is because it's vibrating at the same level. So things that seek each other out, things that are at the same vibrational level, will seek each other out. Make sense? Yeah. Oh, so here's the other thing about what is made up of energy. So our thoughts, our feelings, our beliefs, and our assumptions. And of course our actions. Action is also made up of energy, but all of those, thoughts, beliefs, assumptions, feelings, actions, all made up of energy. So remember that, because you're going to need to know that as we move on, okay? All right. Here's the second way I like to describe law of attraction, which is we attract into our life what we think about most of the time. Now, for some of you, that's going to be, woohoo, yeah, great. Yeah, great. I think about great things all day. There's some of you who are going to go, uh-oh, not so good. Not so good at all. If I'm attracting what I'm thinking about most of the time, I need to shift that. So, and that's what this is really all about, is to start to understand that we need to shift what we're thinking about most of the time. So if we're focused on lack or being upset about something, we want to shift that. This is the very reason why people stay in jobs or continue to stay in jobs or circumstances, relationships, whatever it is, for way too long. And for way longer than they thought. It's like, well, how come I can't get a new job? Well, is it because you're complaining about it all the time? You know what? Been there, done that. And I got a story about that, because the person there was a woman that I used to consult with, and she said, well, Karen, you just have to love your job. And I'm just thinking, not a chance. Love my job? I hate this job. But in fact, when I started to love my job, that's when things started to change, when I started to learn how to appreciate it. But then that's a whole other thing. So again, we get and we attract into our life the things that we focus on most of the time. So those are the two ways I like to describe the law of attraction. Like energy attracts like energy, and we attract into our life the things that we focus on or we think about most of the time. Here's the other real key thing about this that I had only heard this put in these terms not too long ago, and I want to share it with you because I think it is pretty interesting and pretty important to the whole process. Is the universe, and I refer to that all-knowing energy, that intelligent force. Some people call it God, some people call it Allah, some people call it all that is, source energy. There's a lot of different names for it. Your higher self, whatever that is, whatever it is for you, please use that and please substitute as I talk about it, because I use the universe a lot or source energy a lot when I talk about that intelligent source, that intelligent energy. So please put in for you what works for you, because for everybody it's going to be different, okay? And please don't take offense to it. Don't let that stop you, and I will talk about that in a bit, but don't let that stop you. But here's the thing, is that the universe doesn't judge what you decide to focus on and what you decide you are going to, what level of vibration you're going to be at. It doesn't judge that, but it puts its full force behind you in it. So please understand that. The universe puts its full force of what it has behind whatever direction you decide to go. So it's not going to stop you and say, oh, Karen, stop, you're going the wrong way. It doesn't really happen like that, and I will explain more about that. But again, it will get behind whatever you decide to focus on. So keep that in mind as well, all right? Thank you so much for taking your time, your precious time, to spend with me during this video today. I hope you got lots out of it. I know if you like this one, you're going to love the other ones too, because I'm going to share so much more as we go forward. I know that there's all kinds of ways that you could be spending your time elsewhere, but I know that if you devote your time to this, that you're going to be able to take this information and just catapult your life to a whole different stratosphere. Now, there are many of you that came to this video through a variety of different sites, not through my site. And what I want to let you know is that there is a way for you to actually be able to comment or ask me questions about this particular podcast, and I would love to hear from you. So all you need to do is go to my site, attractmorenow.com. So attractmorenow.com. And on there is a site, there's a page that is devoted specifically to this podcast or to this video, and plus the other ones in the future as well. And so please go there and let me know what you think, or again, if you have questions, because I will be personally responding to each of these. So thanks again for spending your time with me again. Go to my site, attractmorenow.com, and pick up your other free videos. I think they're there just waiting for you. All right. So again, thanks again. My name is Karen Luniw from attractmorenow.com. Go ahead and shift, shine, and grow. Bye-bye.